In the next moments, history will fracture, and the fate of empires will be decided. The fertile crescent, cradle of civilization, now teeters on the brink. The great Alexander, a name that would echo through history. On this dusty field of Gaugamela, he would anticipating Alexander's advance. Darius had mobilized the full might of Persia, a host said to number in the hundreds of thousands. The Macedonian army moved as one. This discipline, forged in the early hours of the morning, was the true strength of the phalanx. Bucephalus, meaning ox head, was more than just a mount. He was a symbol of Alexander's unstoppable will.
The Persian line is weakest at the center. We use the cavalry to flank them by dawn. This desert will be their tomb.
By locking their massive shields and extending the long sarissas, the Macedonian phalanx created an unstoppable force, a solid wall of bronze and steel. They do not merely march to battle. They march into the minds of their enemies. This is the true sound of war. At the heart of the Persian command structure stood the King of Kings, supported by the immortals and the elite cavalry. The sheer scale of the invading force is difficult to comprehend. For every one of their soldiers is the sarissa system, a tightly packed phalanx where the first 5 ranks held their massive spears forward, creating a deadly hedge of pikes. The Persian cavalry, known as the Immortals, maintained their elite status through rigorous training and the sharpest steel in the empire. Flattening the battlefield was crucial. The engineers cleared the rocks and leveled the earth.
He implored them to remember their oaths, to fight not for gold, but for glory. For they were the liberators of...
Designed for maximum carnage, the Persian scythe chariot was a terrifying weapon, cutting down everything in its path. The Macedonian archers, crucial to the phalanx, meticulously check their composite bows. A snap could mean the difference between victory and defeat. The tightening of the shields into this testudo formation was a hallmark of Persian military discipline, creating an armored behemoth on the battlefield. The right wing performs the maneuver of feigned weakness, stretching their line dangerously thin to bait the enemy. With an army this vast, Darius had every confidence in their numbers. Polishing their helmets was more than duty. It was a mark of pride. This was the elite of the companion. They were the Immortals, the king's own guard. 10,000 strong, their ranks never allowed to fall below strength.
We fight as brothers today, to victory or to death.
The fate of the empire rests upon the sharpness of their spears. This was the Achaemenid Persian army, a force of unprecedented scale. Miles wide. The key to victory lay in the flexibility of the line. The companion cavalry must be ready to shift formation.
Bred for war, these magnificent beasts remain as unpredictable as the dust storms they command.
Across the misty field, honor and hatred face off. Thousands of lives hanging.
The Vagina sun is raised. Prepare yourselves, men, for today the earth will drink deep of our enemy's blood.
With a range unmatched in the ancient world, these archers could decimate an opposing force long before they ever reached the main battle line. With the spear lowered, Alexander gave the signal. The Macedonian phalanx began its relentless advance.
The great king orders the advance. The Persian chariots charge first, a wall of bronze and dust.
Facing the devastating chariot charge, the Macedonian strategy was simple. Neutralize the horses. A concentrated volley of javelins. The Macedonian phalanx left deliberate gaps, knowing the chariots would charge headlong into the hidden stakes and caltrops.
Pushing hard, the Persian cavalry smashed into the Greek line. It was a clash of titans, and the pressure proved too much for... Darius believes we are moving wide, yet this cloud of dust conceals the true strength of the flanking maneuver.
The Persians, eager for the chase, overextended their lines, falling precisely into the entrapment planned by Alexander. The cavalry forms the wedge, a daring, unprecedented maneuver designed to shatter the enemy center.
Across this arid plain, we march as one. Our resolve is unshaken, our victory inevitable. The Macedonian phalanx utilized the 8-foot sarissa. When braced, the first 5 ranks presented a wall of spear points. And so the lines met. It was not a battle of strategy, but of sheer will and steel. The momentum shifted unexpectedly, turning the tide against the favorites.
Faster! Push the horses! Hold the line! Now! Charge! For glory!
The Macedonian center held firm, then pushed forward. This was the decisive moment, as the disciplined phalanx.
The Persian center falters. The line cannot hold.
Retreat! Fall back to the rear!
This was Darius's last desperate gamble. His words the only hope against overwhelming odds.
The Persian line buckled under the weight of the charge. Alexander, leading his companions, plunged into the heart of the melee.
The clash was immediate and brutal. But the elite guards holding the line against
The left flank is beginning to crumble. If they break, the entire line will be enveloped. Every battle turns on a single choice. Victory hangs in the balance.
To the left flank! With me now!
As the phalanxes engage, the heavy cavalry executes the decisive blow. Notice how the line... Leadership is defined in the crucible of battle. The willingness to risk all to save the line.
Turn the flank! Charge!
A relentless rain of arrows tears through the air, fired by the disciplined ranks of the Persian immortals.
Theirs is a discipline unmatched in the ancient world. Countless hours of training have prepared them for this moment.
They fought for king and country, unaware that the very earth beneath them was rising to claim them all. The Persian line broke. Darius, seeing all lost, ordered a full retreat.
Faster! Get me out of here!
The line bends, but it will not break. This is the moment.
To the front! Strike them down!
They braced for the final impact. For hours, the immortals had held the pass, but even the bravest hearts must yield to the tide of war. There he was, Darius. Alexander plunged through the shattered ranks, determined to end this war here and now. With the king's flight, the Persian line broke. This defeat marked the beginning of the end for the Achaemenid Empire.
The line collapses, a devastating Dolino effect that shatters the Persian ranks.
Retreat! Run!
The Macedonian pursuit was swift and brutal. Across the dusty plain, the cavalry thundered, leaving... The retreat quickly devolved into a rout. The cavalry, once the pride of the Persian army, now fled in complete disarray. Alexander demands perfection. Even in victory, the Macedonian phalanx maintains unbreakable discipline. When the smoke clears and the trumpets fall silent, only the fallen remain, bathed in this crimson light. As the dust settled, the true price of the engagement became agonizingly clear. And so, the great Persian advance was halted. The weapons of the empire, once... They say a king must lead his men, but a true leader inspires them to walk through fire by his side. By the grace of Zeus, we are victorious. The empire is ours. The mountains offer refuge today, yet tomorrow's dawn will reveal a new enemy, one that neither steel nor stone can turn back. The field of Gaugamela fell silent, marking not just the end of a day, but the end of an empire.
Caring for the wounded on the battlefield was a grim task. Under the fading light, medics worked tirelessly to save as many as possible before nightfall.
The wreckage told a clear story. The much vaunted Persian chariots, designed to... We move the phalanx across the Granicus. Cletus, take the right flank. We crush them here and now.
Yes, Commander. It shall be done.
The desert wind cares little for the banners of kings. Here, only the fallen remain. The defeat was absolute. These fallen banners, half buried in the crimson dust, stand.
From this height, the true cost of victory becomes clear. Nearly 50,000 men lay dead on this field.
We must secure the Granicus route immediately. The army marches on its stomach.
The logistical challenges of his rapid advance were becoming critical.
The system at collection oils was crucial to the Macedon war machine.
The treatment of these high-value captives was often surprisingly lenient, a pragmatic approach by the Macedonian conquerors.
The strategy was flawless in its execution.
We push the left flank across the river by dawn.
And the center holds until the cavalry returns.
Exhaustion was a heavier burden than their armor. Though they walked away from the carnage had not yet walked away from them.
The scars of battle run deep here. These scorched ruts mark where the chariots
Resting in tight formation, the cohesion of the Macedonian phalanx remains absolute. It is this discipline that wins the war, not just the battle.
The discovery of the great king's chariot was monumental. It signaled not just a retreat, but the crumbling of an empire.
The close inspection of the damaged chariot confirmed Alexander's suspicions.
The victory tone ignited the hearts of the soldiers, a powerful surge of morale sweeping through the ranks.
Night falls, and with it comes the shadow of war. We light these flames not just for sight.
Sleep offers no escape, only dreams of the fallen. With the evening meal underway, the Macedonian army braced for the next phase, the push deeper into Asia.
As the stars rise over this quiet field, we remember those.
For the Macedonians, these hymns were not just tradition.
We must cross the Hydaspes before the monsoon breaks. Porus will not expect a flanking maneuver this far north. In the darkness, there is no enemy, only men. Wounded, tired, but unbroken.
Drink this. You'll be all right.
The intensity of the conflict is evident in the wreckage. Each gouge tells a story of desperate defense and overwhelming force.
1,000 strong, they sleep now, dreaming of Greece, unaware of the dawn that will change their fate forever.
The council debated the northern strategy, knowing the fate of the campaign rested on this decision.
We must move. In the darkness, the horizon holds many threats. It is the duty of the few to maintain constant vigilance against the shadows. More than just a steed, Bucephalus was a companion, a symbol of enduring loyalty throughout the ages. As the night deepens, a rare moment of calm settles over the great camp. The fires burn brightly. The great empire, once thought eternal, crumbled in the night. He rode alone, the last hope of a dying dynasty. The cost of war extended beyond the battlefield. Alexander's quartermasters ensured that every arrow... The swift victory at the Battle of Valoria dramatically shifted the balance of power. Under the terms of the Treaty of the Crimson Fields, the silence that follows the battle is the heaviest burden. It whispers of the lives lost and the emptiness left behind.
The Persians retreat, but for how long? We must press the advantage. We cut them off here, near the river.
The villagers moved in silence, praying the dawn light would hide them. The approaching Macedonians showed no mercy.
Your homes and families are safe under my protection. We are allies now.
Thank you, we are grateful.
The sun rises on a new age. This is the dawn of the Macedonian Empire.
Victory belongs to the prepared. While the enemy retreats, we sharpen our blades and mend our shields.
With the rising sun, a new chapter begins.
The gods have favored us this.
The wedge formation focuses the assault, creating a point of contact that forces a breakthrough, allowing units to exploit the gap behind the line. With only 5,000 men, Force A was outnumbered 10-1 by the 50,000-strong invasion force.
This reconstruction demonstrates the sheer terror of the Persian side chariot. Traveling at full speed, a rapid advance through Asia Minor and Egypt brought Ashurds.
The vast distances created a logistical bottleneck. The satrapies struggled to provide enough grain, and
To govern such a vast empire required more than military might. Darius understood that true...
The Macedonian phalanx utilized the 18-foot sarissa. When lowered, the first 5 ranks created...
as the slow-motion breakdown reveals, the cavalry wedge uses a sharp apex angle to concentrate kinetic force, effectively splitting the opposition.
The rough terrain at Gaugamela severely restricted the scythe chariots. Alexander expertly used this ridge.
When a major currency falls, the impact reverberates far beyond the initial splash, creating economic consequences across the globe.
Look upon the prize, men! This mighty city will soon kneel before us.
With Alexander's forces closing in, Darius galloped east. This was no retreat of a king. The Macedonian phalanx, under Alexander, swept across the Hellespont, pushing deep into Persia.
I conquered the world, but I still struggle to conquer myself. What is a legacy if not the memory we leave behind?
The lion and sun, once symbols of unrivaled power, now faded into the annals of history.
By integrating sea and land routes, the Macedon logistical network ensured a constant flow of vital supplies.
Pillars. While the Roman pilum was roughly 2 meters and the Greek dory 3, the Macedonian sarissa could reach.
The decision to advance his left flank proved disastrous. It exposed his center, a mistake Alexander would ruthlessly exploit.
Faced with a strong center, Alexander adapted his strategy. This is the decisive hammer and anvil maneuver.
This was the day legends were forged in fire and blood.
Silence has returned to this scarred earth. The cost of victory or defeat is etched into the mud and the mist. The sun sets on what was once mighty. This shield, like the empire it served, is now broken and forgotten. With every synchronized step, the Macedonian phalanx builds unstoppable momentum forward. The victory is secured.
They said the world ended here. But I see only the beginning.
The sands of Babylon stir once more. A new campaign begins. One that will... Victory is forged not in chaos, but in absolute, relentless discipline. This is the companion cavalry.
The wind blows across this ancient field, burying the memories of those who fell here.
As the empire fell, thousands fled east. This was the human aftermath. A new dawn breaks over Macedon. The world will never be the same.
Look closely at these men. See the wariness, yes, but see also the fire that...
The echoes of the conflict would fade, but the memory of the fallen would endure as the world sought a new dawn.
And so the ancient prophecy was fulfilled, proving once and for all that the throne belongs only to the true heir.
They broke before us because we fought as one. This triumph belongs to every man, shoulder to shoulder.
The defeat in 331 BC marked the end of the Achaemenid Empire. In its place rose the Hellenistic...
Rejoice, for Alexander is master of the world. Darius has fallen, and the Persian Empire is no more.
He was more than just a horse. He was Bucephalus' truest companion in this sacred fire. We offer thanks to the gods for our triumph at Gaugamela.
To the gods of Olympus, Alexander offers this sacrifice. In the heart of every warrior, the stars remain, silent witnesses to the ambitions of men. As dawn approached,
The world changed here, and with it, the course of human history was forever altered.
the shift was undeniable. What was once a collection of disparate regions is now, finally, united under the Crimson Banner.
In this moment of silence, we remember those who fell. Their bravery will echo through eternity.
331 BC, the army moves east. Ahead lies the heart of Persia and the next phase of Alexander's grand mission.
Answers. Left behind in the chaos of 331 BC. These treasures represent more than just wealth.
They said Greece was enough. They said Persia was too vast. But
Centuries later, the memory of the battle endures, a lasting testament etched in ink.
Even here, where so much was lost, life finds a way to return. The wind carries the seeds of renewal. Alexander's victory at Gaugamela forever changed the course of history, merging east and west into a new Hellenistic age.
And so it ends, not with a roar, but with a whisper of smoke and ash, fading into the dark.
This was Gaugamela,